A 3,000-mile journey, escaping 2 decades worth of relentless abuse. Her final cry came from a Nashville apartment.
I said, yes, I'm here, I'm here.
For her protection, we're calling her Julissa.
I was just afraid, very afraid. At some point, he hit me on the face.
A sex trafficking survivor, saved at 22 by police in an American city we call home.
When I heard them, I felt that God had listened to me.
The ending was an answer to prayer. The beginning, a vicious nightmare.
I wanted to finish all the abuses. And after everything that has happened, I've been afraid to relate to other people.
Julissa was born in Central America. She was first assaulted by a family member when she was a toddler.
My stepfather, or the brother of my stepfather, when I was 4 years old. After my stepdad, it was my cousin, and at 12 years old, it was my dad.
The rapes continued into her teens. A young girl bought and sold over and over for drugs. At 19, she headed north to Mexico. She was the victim of cartel members. Watch them murder her family. Her time on the run included jumping trains to reach the U.S. Her fear drove her.
I have been afraid all my life since I was a kid, and I didn't have any more options than coming over to this country.
That fear remains, unable to forget the past. Carrying the memories, like the night she carried her 5-month-old son on her back while swimming the Rio Grande.
That I will have to cross the river again. Those have been the most difficult ones.
She left a life of being forced to have sex to survive. Then, while seeking asylum in America, she was lured over the internet by another trafficker. Julissa found herself facing the same nightmare.
Everything that has happened in my life has been very difficult, but if I didn't have God in my life, I couldn't be here.
She was a human slave, trafficked across borders, then into Texas, moved to North Carolina, and finally, Julissa was led to Nashville. She spent 3 days in an apartment in Antioch. Terrified, abused, nothing to eat, and this time with her baby boy by her side.
They were not giving us any food. The kids were crying because they were hungry. So I kept asking him to not let anything happen to him. I didn't care what happened to me, but I did care what happened to him.
Julissa and her son survived. Acting on a tip, investigators raided the apartment and rescued them. At that moment, her life came back. To this day, she calls it her miracle. But she remembers the other women, left behind and still enslaved, still waiting to be rescued.